Daily Broadside, day 925. This morning I was listening to Aretha Franklin's Freeway of Love, and I was paying attention to the lyrics, and I'm pretty sure she refers to that, "We're gonna riding in my pink Cadillac." I think that's referring to her ooh-ah, and I'd never heard that song that way before. I wish I hadn't heard it that way before, because that's Aretha's Cadillac is not really something I want to think about. But you know what? I was watching a video a couple days ago of a bull in a ring. You know, people trying to ride bulls. It's such a... Humans are crazy. But this little Hispanic dude, I'm guessing he weighed 150 pounds. He gets off the bull. He didn't get off the bull. The bull got him off of himself. And then he's running around scurrying in the ring, and it catches up to him and just one flip of the neck just tosses him, you know, like 30 feet in the air. It's crazy, right? How more people don't die from that activity, I'll never understand. But more to the point, I was like, man, I was like, bulls, you know, they're big and strong and all that, but I don't even think it's their mass. I think it's the neck strength. And I looked it up. Average bull's anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 pounds. We'll just take a 2,000-pound bull, you know, a rather large breed of one, and 150-pound guy. That's if my math is right, that's like 7.5% of the bull's body weight, right? And he's able to just flip it. And then I was like, well, what's the equivalence there of me? I mean, is that like me going up to like a toddler and just flipping him? Like, nah, that'd be too heavy. But I did the math. I'm 190 pounds, more or less. Depends on what day I weigh myself. But that would be like me taking a 14-pound weight and just, you know, flipping it 30 feet in the air, which tells me that it's not the bull's mass as much as it's just his massive neck muscles. Because I'm gonna tell you what, you could make a mannequin that weighed 14 pounds that was arguably the same height as me, because the bull and the Hispanic dude are basically, you know, eye to eye, I guess. He didn't look like a very tall guy, but, you know, bulls aren't exactly short. You know, I would figure that, you know, I could look a bull in the eye. You know, man, I might be a little bit taller than him. I'm 6 feet tall. I could look I figure the bull's eyes would be just below mine or whatever. That's not important. The point is, you get a 14-pound mannequin, let me go full steam into it and just at the last minute just flip me. Even if I had like some protuberance, you know, it's mimic horns. I don't even think it's the horns as much, but and then just take that thing and then flip it 30 feet. I couldn't do that. My neck would crack. I mean, I'd break something. That's crazy talk that you know, you can do that. So hats off to you, bull. And hats off to the stupid people who feel the incessant need to get in a ring with one of those things. Golly, it's got to be a crazy rush. Anything that I have to wear a vest with, like, I don't even know what a Kevlar or whatever kind of structural support that thing has, like motorcycle armor, I'm not doing that. And which leads me to my next point. I was watching power slapping last night, and this has got to be, pound for pound, the dumbest activity that humans could do. I mean, arm wrestling is really dumb because you can have some catastrophic injuries with rotator cuffs and elbows and wrists and all that. I mean, you can break a lot of stuff very, very easily. Those things aren't meant to do what they're doing. But, you know, you can recover. You know, you break your arm, your elbow, whatever, you'll come back. But power slapping, like, you just like, they ought to just call that TBI, you know, ball or something, you know, because you're just looking to get brain damage. I mean, that is the dumbest. But I'm watching it, and so it was called Powerball. And Dana White was in Powerball. Is that right? I think Power Slap. I'm sorry, not Powerball. That's some kind of gambling thing. Power Slap, which Dana White was in one of the videos. So I assume this is the thing that I think he bought and is now, you know, maybe that's the tip of the spear in the slapping world. But I'm like, how the crap do you practice for this? I mean, I get you want to put on bulk, you want to be a bigger dude. I guess there's got to be weight classes. I mean, there's no way they're putting. I mean, the people usually look fairly similar to one another in size. But yeah. So, what are you doing to practice other than just like, you know, Lincoln Hawks in his truck, just, you know, putting on, you know, getting a stronger arm? I mean, are you doing like plyometrics to, like, you know, help your core? I guess your core has got to be involved. But like, as far as the being able to have a tough chin. And it's not even a tough chin. It's like a tough, like, whole side of your face. God, it's so stupid. But, like, I don't know what you do to make that I mean, you got to know that you can take a hit, so you got to get hit. But I don't know how many. I mean, what is practice like? 3 hits? You're like, all right, it's enough for today. We don't want to get brain damage before the tournament this weekend. And who are you having hit you? You got to have somebody that's your size. So if you're a heavyweight, you know, you calling up your friends like, man, what are you doing today? He's like, nah, I'm out here working. He's like, what are you doing after work? I'm like, I was going home, watch some TV, eat a Stouffer's lasagna. I don't know. I'm like, hey, can you swing by the house and just slap me around a bit? And you're like, what? And you're like, yeah, I'm training for this power slap contest this weekend. I just need somebody to just slap me around a little bit. And then the guy gets there. The guy, I mean, there's got to be like, you can't, I mean, it's like having a sparring partner. You can't just get in the ring with somebody who doesn't know how to box. Like, you need somebody that can box. So I would imagine there is an art to hitting, and they got to, you know the rules, and they can't just be slapping, be just slapping, you know, just, that's not going to get you anywhere. Just, you know, all right, let's do this. You know, I mean, just drink some motor oil like the other guy in the that's 2 over-the-top references I've given you. I can't give you any more. I mean, I can. Don't get me wrong. I've seen the movie many times. We can do that for quite a while, but we're not going to because that's not important. I don't know. It just seems kind of silly. When I watched a woman on the Gravitron, and I don't know if it has other names. I think the Gravitron is what I recall it being called when I was a kid, but a couple things about the Gravitron. That's the thing that the centrifugal force, centrifugal, I think. I think centripetal sends it into the middle. I don't know. Well, it's like I can't keep those straight. That's like concave and convex and stalagmite, stalactite. Just use one. We know what you mean, you know. But even if you're wrong, we get it. We know what you're talking. You're talking about the one that comes from the ceiling down. It drips like whatever. Anyway, so this lady's like, had to show my kids how we did it in the Gravitron back in the day. And I'm like, did what? You just go around in a circle and hang on till they decide to stop. But fortunately, a couple things. I've never been on a Gravitron with anybody thrown up because that would have been disgusting. Because it would have just stuck to you. You know, you'd just been like, ha ha ha, it's on my lip. You know, just till it stopped. But you know what always scared me about the Gravitron? You know, you could turn upside down and all that kind of crap. I mean, it was neat and everything, but they move up and down, like the things, the beds, the wall, whatever you're laying on, whatever you want to call that. It slides, right? And I always worried about getting my fingers caught in there. And I was watching the video and I'm like, how can you not get something caught in there? You know, like some long crystal gale hair or a bracelet or something. I don't know, man. I feel like with the tolerances that fair rides are made with, that there would be a large gap in there and your pinky gets stuck in there and just rip it off or something like that. And it just hurts worse than getting knocked out in a power slap competition and all. So that's what I was thinking about with the Gravitron. And then somebody in the comments was like, when did they start putting lids on the Gravitron? Meaning that there was a roof on the Gravitron. And I'm like, first of all, I don't know why they would be called a lid. It's a roof, okay? And I've been on both. I went to one on an outside fair, and it was open. I've been to a couple of those. But most of the ones back in the day had lids, you know. So they were lidded Gravitrons. So there's that. And the last thing I'd like to suggest is I think we should get away from making Mount Rushmore lists. I love Mount Rushmore lists. I love it when, like, you know, somebody's interviewing like Michael Cooper or you know, Robert Ory or somebody. Give me your Mount Rushmore of sinners all the time. You know, I love listening to that stuff, but I don't think it's enough. I think it should be the 7 wonders of the world. I think that should be our new like standard because, you know, the NBA has been around since like the 48. I know it was around in the 50s, but I want to say it was like 46, 47, 48, somewhere in there when George Mikan was just dominating the court. But, I mean, if I was 6'10" in 1952, I would have been better than George Mikan. I would have been George Mikan. Anybody would have been George Mikan. If anybody was 6'10" in 1951, you were automatically George Mikan. You know, everybody else is like 6'1" at best. But anyway, I think 7 would be a better thing because, you know, we've gone, you know, 70 years, whatever that is. You know, that's you can't narrow that down. I mean, it's Michael and Kobe and, you know, Shaq, LeBron, LaFraud. Well, you know, I mean, that's not enough people. You need 7, and that's still difficult, you know. You give me the top 4 point guards of all time, you know. I'm going Isaiah. Obviously, Steph's got to now be in there. I'm going to put Gary Payton in there. Statistically, John Stockton. You could argue Steve Nash, but he never won anything. Just a couple of MVP. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's difficult. But if I had 7, it's a lot easier to, whatever. So let's get away from Mount Rushmore, or we can add 3 more presidents who I would recommend it be Eisenhower, Taft, and Kennedy. Y'all have a good one. Get it.